Once upon a time, in a vibrant kingdom nestled between towering mountains and shimmering lakes, there lay a mystical place known as the Sparkling Forest. This forest was no ordinary woodland. It was filled with radiant trees, glittering streams, and flowers that glimmered like stars. Each flower was unique, and among them was a particularly magical blossom known as the Sparkling Flower. This flower was said to hold the secret to happiness, its petals twinkling in the sunlight, casting colorful reflections on anyone nearby. In this enchanting forest lived a tiny monkey named Miko. Miko was a spirited little creature with big, bright eyes and fur that shone like the sun. He loved swinging from the branches, playing hide and seek with the butterflies, and most of all, he adored exploring the forest's mysteries. Miko's favorite spot was a grand, ancient tree called the elder oak. It was said to be the oldest tree in the forest and held countless stories within its gnarled bark. One sunny morning, as Miko was playfully swinging through the trees, he noticed a group of animals gathered near the elder oak. Curious, he scampered over to see what the fuss was about. When he arrived, he found his friends, the wise old tortoise named Tully, the cheerful rabbit named Ruby, and the crafty squirrel named Sammy. Miko, "You're just in time," exclaimed Ruby, twitching her nose in excitement. "Tully has something important to tell us." Miko's eyes widened with anticipation. "What is it, Tully?" Tully, with his slow but steady voice, replied, "There's been a rumor in the forest. The sparkling flower is losing its glow." Gasps filled the air. The sparkling flower was vital to the happiness of all creatures in the forest. Without its radiant beauty, the forest would lose its magic. But how can that be? Miko asked, concerned. "The sparkling flower has always shone so brightly," Tully explained. "Some say that it is being overshadowed by a dark force that has settled in the depths of the forest. We must find out what's happening and save the sparkling flower." "I'm in," Miko declared, brimming with courage. "What do we need to do?" Tully thought for a moment and then said, "We need to gather the rare golden petal, which can restore the flower's glow. The golden petal is found in the Valley of Wonders, but it is guarded by the King of the Sky, a wise and mighty being who flies through the air in a magnificent airplane." "I've seen that airplane," Sammy chirped, his eyes sparkling. "It zooms around the clouds like a shooting star." Ruby nodded. "But how will we reach the Valley of Wonders?" "It's far from here." Miko grinned and said, "Don't worry. I'll climb the tallest tree and call for the wind to help us." Everyone looked at Miko, amazed at his bravery. He hurried to the highest branch of the elder oak and looked up at the vast blue sky. Taking a deep breath, he shouted, "Oh, mighty winds, hear my call. We seek the Valley of Wonders to save the sparkling flower." As if in response, a gentle breeze began to swirl around him, lifting his spirits. Suddenly, a gust of wind swept through the forest, carrying Miko and his friends high into the air. They soared above the trees, feeling the thrill of the wind beneath them. "Hold on tight," Miko shouted, gripping the branch. As they glided through the clouds, the friends flew over the sparkling forest, the shimmering leaves and sparkling streams fading into the distance. After what felt like an exciting adventure, they landed softly in the Valley of Wonders. The valley was breathtaking, filled with vibrant colors and stunning landscapes. Majestic mountains surrounded them, and the sun cast a golden hue across the fields. "Wow!" Ruby exclaimed, her eyes wide with awe. "It's even more beautiful than I imagined." But they didn't have time to admire the scenery. Miko quickly led the group toward a glimmering hill where they believed the golden petal was located. As they approached, they heard the distant sound of a roaring engine. Miko's heart raced. Was that the airplane? "Quick, hide," Tully advised, pointing to a nearby bush. They squeezed into the bush just as a magnificent airplane flew overhead, its wings sparkling in the sunlight. It swooped down gracefully, landing on the hilltop. As the dust settled, a tall figure emerged from the plane, wearing a royal blue cape adorned with golden stars. It was the King of the Sky. "Who dares approach my realm?" the king boomed, his voice echoing through the valley. Miko's heart raced, but he knew they had to be brave. He stepped out from behind the bush, his friends following closely. "Your Majesty," Miko said, trying to sound confident, "we come to seek your help. The sparkling flower is losing its glow, and we need the golden petal to save it." The king raised an eyebrow, his piercing gaze studying Miko and his friends. "And why should I help you, little monkey?" he asked, his tone stern. Miko swallowed hard but replied, "Because the happiness of the sparkling forest depends on it. If the flower loses its magic, all creatures will suffer." The king paused, contemplating Miko's words. Finally, he spoke. "Very well. I will help you, but first, you must prove your worth. There are 3 challenges you must face." Miko felt a mixture of fear and determination. "We're ready, Your Majesty." "What are the challenges?" "First," the king declared, "you must cross the river of reflections. It is filled with illusions that can trick even the wisest of beings. You must stay true to yourselves to reach the other side." Miko and his friends nodded, ready to face the challenge. They followed the king to the edge of the river, where the water sparkled like 1,000 diamonds. As they stepped onto the shimmering surface, they felt a strange sensation. The river began to swirl, creating ripples that formed images of their deepest fears and doubts. "Miko, you can't do this," a voice echoed from the river, morphing into the faces of other monkeys who mocked him. "You're just a tiny monkey. You'll never succeed." Miko felt a pang of insecurity, but he remembered his friends and the mission they were on. "I can do this," he shouted, shaking off the negativity. "I am brave and strong, and I believe in myself." With that declaration, the illusions faded and the river surface calmed, allowing them to cross safely. When they reached the other side, the king nodded in approval. "You have shown courage. Now for the second challenge, the Maze of Shadows. Within this maze, you will face your fears. Only by working together can you find your way out." Miko felt a rush of adrenaline as they entered the maze, which was filled with towering walls that seemed to shift and change. Shadows danced around them, whispering doubts and fears. "Stay close, everyone," Miko urged, taking the lead. "We can't let the shadows distract us." As they navigated the maze, they faced challenges that tested their friendship. Ruby was tempted to flee when she saw a shadow of a giant rabbit chasing her. "I can't do this," she cried. "Don't give up, Ruby," Tully encouraged. "We believe in you." With Miko's reassurance, Ruby summoned her courage and pressed on. Together, they worked as a team, using their strengths to help each other through the maze. Finally, they reached the exit, and the king appeared once more. "You have proven your loyalty and teamwork," he said, a hint of a smile on his face. "Now for the final challenge, the sky's trial. You must fly with me and catch a glimpse of the golden petal. Only those who truly understand the beauty of the world can obtain it." Miko's heart raced with excitement and fear. "I'm ready," he declared. Feeling a surge of determination, the king led them back to the airplane, and as they soared into the sky, Miko felt a rush of exhilaration. They flew above the clouds, the world below growing smaller. The king pointed toward a distant mountaintop where the golden petal glimmered like a beacon. "Now, catch it," the king challenged. Miko felt the wind whipping through his fur as he reached out toward the petal. "We can do this together," he shouted, and his friends joined in, each reaching out with all their might. With a final stretch, Miko felt his fingertips brush the petal. It was as if time stood still. Suddenly, a warm light enveloped them, and the petal floated gently into Miko's hands. "I got it," he cheered, holding the golden petal high. The king smiled, his eyes twinkling with approval. "You have passed all my challenges and shown true bravery and friendship. Now, go back to the sparkling forest and restore the flower's glow." Miko and his friends thanked the king and soared back to the forest, their hearts filled with joy. When they landed near the elder oak, they rushed to the sparkling flower, which was wilting and dim. "Place the golden petal in the center," Tully instructed. Miko carefully placed the petal on the flower, and in an instant, a brilliant light erupted from the blossom, illuminating the entire forest. Colors exploded around them as the sparkling flower regained its radiance, shining brighter than ever before. The forest seemed to hum with joy, and all the animals gathered to celebrate. Miko, you did it! Ruby exclaimed, bouncing with excitement. Together, we did it! Miko replied, feeling proud of their adventure. From that day on, the sparkling flower bloomed even more beautifully, and the forest thrived with happiness. Miko, Tully, Ruby, and Sammy became legends, known as the brave adventurers who saved the sparkling flower. As for the King of the Sky, he often visited the sparkling forest in his magnificent airplane, sharing stories of adventure and reminding everyone of the magic that lay in their hearts. The tiny monkey who once feared his size now stood tall as a symbol of bravery, reminding all creatures that even the smallest of them could achieve the greatest of deeds. And so, in the vibrant kingdom surrounded by mountains and lakes, the sparkling forest remained a place of wonder, joy, and unending adventures. And Miko, with his friends by his side, knew that as long as they had each other, there were no limits to what they could achieve. As the sun set over the sparkling forest, casting a golden glow over the land, the creatures gathered around the elder oak, sharing stories of bravery and friendship. Laughter filled the air as they celebrated their bond, knowing that the magic of the sparkling flower would shine brightly for all to see. And so, they all lived happily ever after, cherishing their adventures and the lessons they learned along the way at the end.